Welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen, and today we're going to make a soap thinking about St. Patrick's Day coming up. It's March, and I love all things St. Patrick's Day. I just think it's fun. I love the color green. So it got me thinking of a soap design, and this is going to be kind of simple but super wonderful. We're going to do a coconut milk soap today, and I will be using the milk in oil method, and we'll talk a little bit about that as we go. Let me talk about the fragrance today. I've used this before. It soaps wonderfully. It is eucalyptus and spearmint, and this is a Bath and Body Works dupe, I think. It smells so good. It's refreshing. It kind of has an Irish Spring sort of scent to it to me. That's what I'm picking up, those notes. And so I thought it would be perfect for this soap. And I just want to do one color swirl. The fragrance doesn't discolor, so that's perfect for this. What we're doing today, I want to do a green swirl, and today I chose Lily Pad Green. This is from Wholesale Supplies Plus, and it does have a little aqua tint to it, but it's so pretty. Just one color swirl I think is going to be gorgeous. I'm not sure what I want to do on top yet, but maybe just a scoopy top or something. The fragrance and the coconut milk are the feature in this soap today. So that's what we're going to do. I've got to pull it all together. And of course, I will be sharing the recipe down below in the description box. And if you can't find the description box, it depends on what device you're on. The highlighted word more or an upside down arrow usually will get you there. Let me know if you're having trouble finding it. Some people have had trouble finding. The description box has links for products I'm using. It has the recipe, lots of information in there. So I hope you find the description box. Anyway, let me get everything pulled together. Let's come back and make some really wonderful St. Patrick's Day inspired coconut milk soap. And we are back with all of my oils and butter, and all the good stuff is in here. And so we're going to do our milk and oil method. I'm going to be adding some kaolin clay to this and get it all blended up before we come in with our lye. The recipe is down in the description box, and I've used this recipe before, so I'm not really going to go over it, but here it all is. And so let's talk about the milk and oil method. This soap batter volume, so that's the oils and butters and the lye solution and everything all added together, is a 51 ounce batch, or 1,446 grams total soap batter. This is before the cure. So with that in mind, I need 5.1 ounces or 145 grams of lye and 10 ounces or 286 grams of liquid to make this soap, and that is with a 28% water discount. I like to do a steep water discount, and I'm using a lot of soapy terms right now, and if you're not familiar with any of those, we need to get back to a beginner soap guide. So I'm talking to some of you guys that know how to soap. So all that being said, with the 5.1 ounces of sodium hydroxide required for this batch of soap, I split my 10 ounces of water. I did 6 ounces of water to mix with my lye. The remaining 4 ounces is my coconut milk, and that is how I do the milk and oil. I take whatever amount I need to mix with the lye to get that solution, and then the leftover volume I can use in a milk, any milk of your choice, goat milk, coconut milk, soy milk. You can get creative, rice milk. You've got so many options, full cream. Oh my word, I could keep going. But today we're doing coconut milk. So this is 4 ounces of coconut milk going on in here. And this is, again, milk in oil. Get it? The milk goes in the oil. Pretty self-explanatory. Here is my fragrance. I'm fragrancing at 5% off the total volume. So I'm using 2.5 ounces or 72 grams of this fragrance oil. Again, it's the eucalyptus spearmint from Be Scented. Please look up the usage rate for whatever you're using. Do not just do 5% just like that, because not all fragrances have the same IFRA. So please look up your rate. Even if you're using the same one as me, just get used to looking your own up. It's a good habit to get into. So I like to go ahead and mix the fragrant oil in here if I know it's going to behave, and this one does behave. I love it. It smells great. It behaves in soap. All good. Let's add our kaolin clay here. This is a white kaolin clay. This is a 2 tablespoon scoop, and it's not quite full. I'll call this about 1.5 tablespoons of clay. You could do full 2 tablespoons. You could do less, more, leave it out altogether. It is completely optional. I just love it in my soap. I think it just gives a nice feel to the lather, a slippiness. I love it. So let's get this blended up, and then we will talk about our lye solution and get to making the soap. Oh, scratch, I'm ahead of myself. I've got piping bags off to the side here. Let's talk about that. This big star tip, I hope you can see it. That's a Wilton 1M. So I want to do little rosettes with the uncolored portion on top, and then with a little bit of the green, I have a tiny little Wilton 21. It's a tiny star tip, and I'll come in and do little star dollops in between the little rosettes on top. That's what I'm thinking to do. So hopefully everything behaves as planned, and that's what we will do. All right, we are back with our lye solution. Look at that gorgeous ivory color. When the lye hits this, it might turn into a little caramely beigey color, and that's just the lye reacting with the milk, and it'll bounce back to a nice ivory color in the soap after, it sets up. But let's talk about the lye here. So what I've got is my 6 ounces of water with my 5.1 ounces of lye. I also have a teaspoon of sugar dissolved in there, a pinch of Tussa silk fibers, and some sodium lactate. And you use sodium lactate at a rate of 1 teaspoon per pound of oils. So that's what's going on in the little pot here. And we're going to get this up to a nice trace. I've got my cup off to the side for my colorant, and hopefully things will behave as advertised. I've used this fragrance before. I'm not expecting any surprises. Every time I soap, though, I don't like to get too confident. I get humbled every once in a while, so let's see. I do love that about soap making. Every time I make a batch, it's a bit of an adventure. Never gets old for me. It really doesn't. All right, there we go. It just turns a little caramely color, and that will bounce back. There we go. Split off for our green. It's funny that I'm making coconut milk for a St. Patrick's Day theme soap. Normally I do like a Guinness beer soap, which I love. I don't know, I wasn't in the mood for making a Guinness beer soap this year. So coconut milk it is. right, we are back. It's the next day, so it's been about 24 hours since we made this soap. I think the top is really cute. I did doubles on the flowers because it was so short in the mold and I wanted to use up all the frosting. I had just a teeny bit of frosting left over, and I want to show you something. So this is my little flower mold that I keep off to the side. Anytime I have extra batter, I squeeze it in there and make a little soap flower. I think they're adorable. But look at the color of green. This went through gel phase, which means it cooked. I put this on a heating pad and I put a cooler over the top of it and allowed it to heat up, almost like a hot process type soap. And this did not go through gel phase. This was sitting off to the side. So look at the difference in the green color. The ivories are very similar. This one's a little more yellow, but the green is green. So I'm interested to see what the inside of this soap color is going to look like. And there's only one way to find out. Let's get it out of the mold and see what we've got going on the inside. All right, we are back with the lovely Olga, and let's get in here. It's looking very teal colored to me as I'm looking at this. You know, not a bad thing, but I like, at this moment in time, I'm liking the color on the soap flower for St. Patrick's Day a little better. This is a nice and firm soap today. I like to just go slow. I don't want to break a wire. That's a real pain to change a wire. Okay, wow. So look, there's some of this green color coming through and some of it's teal. Very interesting. It's actually quite pretty. I see two colors in here, but we only did one color. Cool. This is going to be fun to see over the next few days how this progresses, the colors, and I will take pictures of the end product at the end of the video so we can follow this along together. Very interesting. All right, let's see what we've got. Oh, so pretty. So look, that's teal, but the little wispies are green. Fascinating. There's my little rosettes and stars. So pretty. And this scent is very bright and eucalyptus, spearminty, everything it should be. It just smells really good, I think. Cute swirls. All right, so let's talk about coconut milk in soap. Why do I love coconut milk in soap? It's got great label appeal. I'll just say that. It just sounds very appealing, but it lathers beautifully. I think coconut milk is fabulous if you don't have a coconut allergy. And if you do, choose another milk. And like I said earlier in the video when we were doing the milk and oil method, it doesn't have to be like a milk. It can be rice milk, oat milk, soy milk, any, depending on your preference. So you can get really creative with the milks that you use in soaps. So many options, and I love that. Really experiment. This just fascinates me that there's two different colors on the inside here. And I do believe this did go through gel phase. Again, I put it on the heating pad on high. I'll leave a link for the heating pad I use. It's very inexpensive. And I leave it on for about an hour. Then I come down and turn it off and just let it sit. Holly's soap making, oh my word, she is an artist with soap, just masterful, and she does all natural soaps. She does the oven proofing, so she will put her soaps in the oven at with the light on or 170 degrees and then turn the temperature off and let it sit in there overnight. It's called oven processing. Many different options. I'm not going to get into all of it right here as we're cutting because it's a big subject, but I do like gel phase. Gel phase is when your soap starts to heat up and go through the saponification process a little bit faster. It's the cooking of the soap, similar to a hot process, like I said. Not gel is not gelling it. It's keeping the soap cold. Some people will actually pour their soap and then put it in the refrigerator. They don't want it to gel at all. It makes for more pastel or different colors. Obviously, look at that green compared to the gel green. Very different colors. And when I don't gel a soap, I usually will wait an extra day or two before I unmold and cut. They don't firm up quite as quickly. But I do have friend soapers that swear by not gelling. That is their preference. That's what works for them. And you know what? Kudos. I think with soaping, you will develop a soaping personality, if you will, and find out what you prefer. And it's all good. It really is. At the end of the day, you just get beautiful soap. And who can not like that, right? So I'm going to let these sit for a few hours, come in and do the beveling and stamping like I do. And let's do a lather test today, just so we can see how this coconut milk soap lathers. So I'll do the outro and talk through the lather test. We are back. It has been almost a week since we made these, and the colors on here are staying two-toned. I think it's lovely, and it saved me the work of having to use two different micas. That's kind of a plus. It's interesting to me that that happened with the colors. So let's do a lather test. I'm going to save this little end slice I save these up and then give them away as a little bundle. But let's do the flower. Let's get in here and see how coconut milk soap lathers up. And again, this fragrance from Bee Scented smells divine. I love it. It's just fresh and wonderful. And it behaves really well in soap, except for that strange, discoloring gel phase thing. But actually, I kind of love it. Beautiful lather. It's creamy. It's dense. Now, this does have a high amount of lard in it, and lard soaps get even better with age. The longer this cures, the fancier the lather is going to be on it. Let me put this down and build this up. Right now, it's thick and creamy. It's not big, fluffy lather, but it's a nice, dense, creamy lather. Golly, you could even shave with this. It's so smooth. That's the clay in there that I love. It just has a slippy, creamy feel to it. I think it's beautiful. I love how this turned out. A surprise with the color mica morph there, but it's a good surprise, I think. I'm loving it. So I hope you give the recipe a try. I've shared it before. Oh, now look at that. Okay. I'm interrupting myself. As I use this, look at the turquoise coming through. So that green rubbed off, and there's turquoise underneath. Let's see if it's that way on the back. Just a little around the edges. Can you see that? This is fascinating to me. Golly, I'm really I am loving the color morph on this. It's cracking me up. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Do you do something special for St. Patrick's Day? I like to make corned beef and cabbage, and my husband likes a Guinness beer, and it's fun. I don't know, we don't do it every year, but once in a while I get in the spirit, and that's kind of fun. But this soap kind of gave me the vibes, even though it has a cute little color morphy thing. Well, I thank you so much for joining me today, making this coconut milk soap, and I hope you have a wonderful day.